So, it all begins with a scribble. I think today I'm going to be doing probably a picture of one of my favorite places in the whole world. I love this place more than anything. Really, really enjoy it. We go as often as we possibly can, and that is Islands of Adventure. Now again, it's very easy for a person to go, it's just a theme park. Who really cares? It's just a theme park. But this place in particular holds a very special place in my heart because it is the spot that me and my wife went on our first date. And I can remember it like it was yesterday. I just feel like giddy. Like the day I got married.
Oh, wow. Wow, okay. So is there going to be crying later in the day?
I never cried on mine.
You did tear up. Don't act like you did.
We are doing it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We got this thing. And again, it almost seems like it wasn't even real, you know? But it was. And we go back as often as we can to reminisce and to remember. Remember a time that really honestly just seems like magic. Magic to me. I am using a reference photo on this one. Of pretty much one of my favorite, again, I've been to theme parks. I've been to a ton. We love going to Disney. We love going to any of these places. But Islands of Adventure, I have to say, probably has one of the greatest entrances. Very immersive. And of course, if you go to Universal or you go to Disney and spots like that, their themes are like on point. And with the main entrance, when it comes to the waterfalls and just the lay of it, it just has such a cool nostalgia to it. Yes, I've walked down Main Street USA. Yes, I've been to Epcot and I've seen different things. Like, again, we've been to the parks. But to me, Islands of Adventure just has a very epic entryway. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Even though it took me 5 minutes to say it.
It's gonna be a good shot.
But you just follow. I lucked out in life because I met an incredible person to do life with. And as much as I want to go, everybody has that person in life that they're going to live life with. Reality is, not everybody's blessed to have that partner that's going to walk with them. It just is what it is. But I was extremely fortunate in that at 19 years old, I met the person that I'd be able to do life with. And in turn, chose to do life with me. I think that's sort of the crux of it. You know, it's like, how do you find the right person? I don't know if you find the right person in the sense of they're perfect for you. It's just this idea of I choose to live life with you. You choose to live life with me. let's do it together. And come hell or high water, we're just going to stick this thing out. I don't know if it's some sort of magical thing more than it just is commitment, you know. I vow myself to you. And yeah. How you doing? Good. I'm not going to do the entrance justice. Yeah, it's just a picture. In order to really experience it, you got to go down there for yourself. You got to see it. Yeah, it's like the whole thing is just themed with these different islands. Each island representing a different fantasy world. So when you walk in, you go to the left, you have Marvel, which again, Islands of Adventure had Marvel before Disney did, and so it's still there. And I think it'll, you know, comic book wise, Universal will probably keep it. But you go to the left, you have Marvel. You go to the right, you have Dr. Seuss. You walk through Dr. Seuss, or Seuss's Landing, or Seuss's Island, whatever you want to call it. You go over the bridge to the Lost Continent, which in a weird way is probably one of my favorite parts of the park, even though it's sort of phasing out. And a couple of the things that they had there aren't, you know, they're not really there anymore. But the theme of that portion of the park is so cool that I love sitting in there. Plus they have waterfalls everywhere, and if you know me, I'm obsessed with waterfalls. Honestly, and this is my honest prayer, and if you're a praying person, please pray with me. My hope is that if I create something that eventually gets turned into a movie, I would want that part of the park to be themed towards the thing I'm creating. I know that sounds crazy, it sounds weird, whatever. I really don't care. You have not because you ask not, and I really would like that portion of the park. It's funny because it's really just recent, over the past couple years, that like we've just decided just to let things go. Like, you know, we grew up in the church system, and our whole life was bent around that church system. That's all we did. You know, that's all we did was whatever the church system wanted us to do. And I feel like we just missed out on spending our time in Islands of Adventure. We'd rather be there. I mean, it's a no-brainer. I mean, if you ever get to go, it's incredible. But, yeah, we spent our time, spent our money pouring into a church system that, like, honestly, our heart was Islands of Adventure. Here we go, Jeff. Here we go. Here we go, go. Yeah. Again, at 19 years old, I remember my grandmother, because I'd gotten home, and of course I was completely Twitter-pated. I was completely Twitter-pated by this girl. And I remember I was over at my grandmother's house, and she's Irish from New York. And little tiny woman. I'm talking like, I think maybe 4.5 feet, maybe. And she sat me down in the kitchen, and she's like, all right, so I just want to talk to you real quick. Just real quick. Just want to talk to you. I know you like this girl. I know that. she the one? And I just remember going, yeah, I think so, Meemaw. Yeah. And she goes, okay, all right, good. Good. Like it was almost like I'm checking. I'm making sure this isn't just another hot tail you run around with. This is the one. I'll fly to you. I'll come soaring. You can tell me stories. You're my windy darling.
In my dreams I dreamt of this. Who knew the feather falling to give Santa midnight kiss? I swear the stars are calling.
Do, and away we go.
We'll go to a place that no one knows. Life's more fun when I'm with
you.
Let's go dance in a crystal sky.
We'll never grow old, so there's no goodbye. Life's more fun when I'm with you. Away we'll fly and never land. Across the twilight sky.
And through the night
I'll fly to you.
It's just you and me.
Free as could be.
Who says we're getting older?
The only getting is another happy thought.
Do, and away we'll go.
We'll go to a place and no one knows. Life's more fun when I'm with you.
Let's go dance in a crystal sky.
We'll never grow old, so there's no goodbye. Life's more fun when I'm with you. Away we'll fly and never land. They say it's all a dream, but not to me, no, not to me.
And they say we'll never be, but not to me, no, not to me.
Not to me, no, not to me. Away we'll fly, never land. Away we'll fly and never land.
It's a hit.
I think it's a hit.
I think a lot of people in relationships, like, they try to confide in other people. And, I mean, you can do that, you know, but why not just sit and learn how to communicate with the person that you're living life with? You know, I think that's probably the biggest thing, you know, and the fact that you made a vow, you know, you committed to one another. I'll never forget, there was a guy by the name of Bill Bradford. He's this old guy, he worked at the church that I grew up in. He always walked around with like this like meter that would like measure the temperatures, you know, and he just walked around as like this little gun, and he'd point towards the corner of the gym, and he'd look down at the thing, and, okay, all right, well, and then he'd point over here and then look back down, you know. Just an interesting human being. He's just great. I really don't know what he was doing, honestly. But I think we had just had like a marriage conference or something like that, and he had been married, I think, over 50 years, you know, knew the person that he married for 2 weeks, and then, you know, got married, and they were together for over 50 years, well over 50 years, and he, you know, just passed recently. But I remember we had just had a marriage conference, and he goes, you want to know, I've been to hundreds of these things. The one thing that they never talk about is you made a promise. You made a promise. That's it. They always talk about try to do this more, and try to do this more, and try to do this more, and try to do that more, and maybe if you did this, and date nights, and blah, 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 blah. And he goes, at the core of it, at the base of it, you made a promise. And be a person that keeps that promise. And I'll never forget just standing in the hallway. You know, I was probably freshly married, so I was probably 21, 22. I just remember looking at him and I was like, yeah, makes sense to me. Makes perfect sense to me.
Well, when you get home, you can do Alright guys, middle school dance. Oh yeah. I don't want to see any hands blown away. Hey, get your hands up high, bro. Middle school. Say high school. Whoa! Dude, much. You said higher.
Doesn't mean that person's going to be perfect. Doesn't mean everything's going to go the way you think it ought to go. Doesn't mean that you're going to have all the finances and everything you think you should have and blah, 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 blah. It's not going to probably have any of that. It's going to be some tough stuff. You're going to have to navigate through some rough waters, and you're going to have to learn how to adjust life and blah, 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 blah. But I think at the foundation, if you just hold to, I made a promise. Made a promise, and we're going to do this. We're going to stick it out. Regardless of what, we're going to stick it out. We're going to do this thing. And in that, me and Jess have had to walk through some crazy stuff. You know? I know it's like, I talk about it a lot, but it's not an easy thing to invest in something for so long. Like an organization or a church or whatever it is. It's not easy to do that. And then to just pack up and say goodbye. Because you're not just saying goodbye to an organization. You're not just saying goodbye to that way of life. You're saying goodbye to people that you thought you were going to live life with for the rest of your life. You say goodbye to people that you've had like really intimate conversations with. You say goodbye to people who have cried on your shoulder and you've cried on theirs, and you are saying goodbye to beautiful relationships. You know, that's a tough thing. It's not easy. And yeah, somehow me and Jess have made it through.
Blow him a kiss, blow him a kiss,
Oh, blow him a kiss, blow him a kiss. Oh, wow. Cheating on me.
You got me!
Are you cheating on me?
You told me
That's
to do
one of these.
it!
That's one of them.
husband.
Hey,
No, you can't complain about that. He turned a freaking wooden puppet into a real boy.
That's what he did. He's got magic.
Serious stuff.
He can work with wood.
I've got great taste.
Yeah.
I've got you, I've got
Okay.
Troy Aikman, I've got Geppetto. Who's number 4?
We haven't
mystery.
It's a mystery.
But you have to be determined.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, I
I'm
probably will be.
choosing.
Hey, son.
And she's- I don't know. One thing some people don't tell you, and it's really hard. You may be saying goodbye to somebody right now. You know, it may just be a friendship or relationship coming to an end or whatever it is. What a lot of people don't tell you when you're in the middle of this storm and you feel like you're alone or whatever is new friends will come. New friends will come. The people that you left will find new friends, and if you are a decent human being, you'll wish them well. You know, like good luck, and I hope you find everything you're looking for. But it's also understanding like new friends will come your way, because new friends have come our way. You know, in the midst of all of our storms. And we left, and me and Jess just felt like we were alone out in the wilderness. New friends came, you know, and that's a fun thing. It's fun.
Hey, you kind of look like Megan right now. Oh, how cute. Oh my god.
I love it. Yeah. I'm filming you, filming me, filming we.
Hopes I'm right.
Look, it's the sweaty constant. Maybe some shot where it's just right here because it's pressure on.
But for me. If I could fly, I'd probably kiss a rainbow, take a little nap atop the clouds. If I could fly, I'd leave my problems below and dance upon the breeze, upside down. 'Cause in the wind there's a friend beckoning a treasure. In my heart and in my dreams, I know it's true. Trust is a must when all you see is pressure. The fall will bring me back to you. It's my third time going on this one. And the, I just do the tandems for right now. I do hope to get to the point where I'm jumping by myself, but it does cost a good bit of money. And it takes up a good bit of time. So I still do the tandems. This was my third time, so the instructor basically let me do everything. Now, of course, she's strapped to my back, so ultimately she still has pretty much control. But when it came to kind of turning and directing and pulling the chute and directing the chute down and all that stuff, she just let me do it. Which again, still terrifying. And to say that, like, it's not scary after the third time or so, that's not true. That's not true. It's still pretty terrifying. But I like facing it. I like just hitting it head on. If you're afraid of something, just hit it. Just hit it head on.
Tell us about your experience, babe.
Mine?
Yeah. The third skydive.
The third, yeah. But yeah.
So what did you control this time?
Everything.
And you pulled the chute?
Yeah.
Was it hard?
No. It's like
It
a little.
released easily?
It's like a golf ball.
Oh,
So-
you like hold on to it?
Yeah. See, when you're going down, you basically
I think.
touch, cool, check it. You go hopping out of this plane, and of course you have to you're going belly first, so you gotta lay flat like this. And of course we're learning the turns, and I have to check my meter. We're jumping from 12,500 feet. So you always have to check your gauge, and it's obviously you're jumping out of a plane, so it's going down. So the moment you jump out, you check it, and I think we were at 11.5, in a matter of 10 seconds. I think we had gone 1,000 easy. And at that point we start turning, so you have to put your arm down into the wind, and it cranks it, and you'll start turning or whatever. And then to get yourself to steady, you basically put your arm back down and you steady back out. And then we had to practice reaching for the chute, which is ultimately like a little golf ball right here attached to the chute, and you yank it straight out. But she wanted me to practice reaching for it and feeling comfortable, and then going back to this, check our thing. I think we were at 85, and then practice a few more turns, check it again, look at it, and about that time we were at 6, and we pull at 55. And so when I say that your brain is in such a different mode, when you talk about a minute's, not a whole lot of time. It is when your senses are so heightened that you know every detail about what's going on. Because at the end of the day, you're racing towards the earth extremely fast. And you want to be aware so you don't smack the earth. So your brain just naturally just kicks into this super heightened mode. But it's this weird thing. There's this euphoric beauty to it. You're terrified. Your senses are heightened. Your adrenaline is kicking in. But in the midst of it is this resolve of... It's probably one of the greatest ways to face your fears, because it's this tangible thing. You know, like I was talking to Jess about it the other day. It's like a lot of times I'd say like, I feel like I've dealt with that, or I feel like I've done this, that, and another. But it's really like, it's hard to see if you've actually dealt with something until you face it. So it's like, I'm not upset about that. I'm not worried about that anymore. Well, then all of a sudden, it comes up. And then all of a sudden you're faced with it again, and you find yourself affected by it again. Now, out of sight, out of mind, you go, oh, I've dealt with it. It's great. I don't have to deal with it. It's wonderful. It's not until you face it that you go, oh, that's still there. I compare it to like jumping out of a plane, because I'm terrified of heights. I don't ever want to pretend that like I'm not. I remember hopping on a Ferris wheel when I was a kid. We were down at the Mid-South Fair in Memphis. And I hopped on this Ferris wheel. And this was one of the big jokers. Like, at least as a kid, it looked massive. And it would, you know, sway and everything. And I'll never forget hopping up there. And it was me and my parents and my sister. And my sister's like, this is great. And she's standing up on the seat overlooking the thing. And I'm sitting there like completely terrified. And of course, my dad, who I get all my sense of humor from. I get all of my goofy, you know, joking around. He was like grabbing me and, you know, doing all this other stuff. Scared the living shit out of me. So I've always been like terrified of heights. I don't like being afraid of anything. I don't like being afraid. So what I, for whatever reason, learned to do is just face it. So we go and we climb up on top of Chimney Rock. We go and we hop on a high roller coaster. I go skydiving and I jump out of planes. Because it's one of those most tangible ways to face your fears and just look at it and go, I don't care anymore. I'm facing you head on and I'm going to conquer you. Right? So you jump out of this plane and you fall for a minute and you know that like I'm really high up in the air. I'm over 12,000 feet in the air. And you just hit it head on. You pull your chute and then you glide down and you go, I conquered you. All that fear and all that stuff. Now again, it's still there. At times it's evident. But like to be a person who goes, I'm going to hit you head on. I'm going to face it. You go into the rest of your week or, you know, year. I try to do it once a year, jumping out of a plane. But you go to through the rest of the year, just able to face whatever it is. Regardless of how hard it is, you just face it. And you just do it. And you get to enjoy the adventure. Probably a good way to put it. Enjoy the adventure. With all of its ups and downs. How are you?
Hold your.
Oh, sorry. Whoa! You promise to clean it for the rest of the week?
Yeah. They've been
You promise?
for the whole week.
All right. Let's go get some ice cream. Let's go right here. Right here. That's exit.
We can just. Okay, here's a word down. Yeah.
It's picture time. I guess what I'm trying to say in all of it is embrace it. Embrace the little adventures every single day, whatever they look like, and trust that it will all pan out. It'll be alright. It'll be alright. It'll be alright. Because at the end of the day, the adventure lives on. I think that was a good therapy session.